Episode 15 of the Dukes of Wisdom. Yeah, so we got some chapters back after our dry spell, whatever you want to call it.
I want to call it terrible.
It was bad. But before I forget, I'm just gonna jump right into JJK.
Yes.
Because when I was editing the last episode, at the very end, you were saying how, unless the next chapter just boom, we jump right into, it's been a month, let's get into the fight. And that's exactly what the fuck just happened.
That was before leaks dropped too, because leaks told me that I was right. Not that I remember seeing that.
So, because we have the I have our Dukes of Wisdom Twitter on my phone.
Yeah.
Go follow us on at dukesofwisdom.com/Twitter.
Oof.
That was bad.
You boomered out.
I boomered hard. At the Dukes of Wisdom.
A boomer all Twitter. Over all of you.
And I'm not a boomer. But I sure as fuck just acted like one.
So you poked your head in there?
No, I get notifications on my phone for it. So, but I also get kind of like For You notifications from like...
Yeah, like we're trying to tell you like tweets that might...
interest you. And so, almost all of them all week were JJK related.
People weren't happy too. When the first leaks dropped without like the full translations, people were just pissed.
I mean, that makes sense.
People
I didn't...
JJK's ruined all over again.
So I saw... the only one I saw that I thought was going to be a spoiler turned out to not be a spoiler. Because it the one I actually saw, I was able to avoid all the rest. Because I like my brain would process that it was JJK before it would process the information, which would be spoiler potentially. So I'd be able to swipe it away. But one of them that I did see, probably one of the first ones, was people saying that Nobara was back.
Oh, off of that that Shoko, Gojo, and
probably
conversation and
Well, it was just a picture, and it showed her with a bunch of people, and it didn't recognize the scene. So I was like, looks like she's back this chapter. But then I read the chapter, and she is, in fact, not there.
Well, there was that one statement between Shoko and Gojo that people have been speculating about, where she goes, all three of us in the same room again. Oh, but one of us still hasn't recovered. Gojo's like, yeah. So people are speculating if that's Nobara, or if they were talking Geto, because they went to Shoko, Gojo, and other guy all went to school together. So it could be them like thinking about Geto.
Maybe.
Or it's Nobara, because that's another person on their side that hasn't fully recovered.
Yeah. Sukuna's got all of the fingers except for one.
Yep, and then he's about to eat his head.
Yeah, I had to see that. I was like, is that his fucking head?
I still think the biggest bombshell is that, though. The Yuji body switching. Did you not catch that?
I did not. I did catch. I was like, why is he calling him Itadori? But I didn't like.
Why is Itadori calling Kusakabe Itadori?
Yeah, and then the Os.
Os.
I saw a lot of comments that people were happy that this kept the Osu in the Os instead of like
people
translating.
Hate the fucking translators. They really do.
But because it's like it's that's a typical like karate saying, you know what I mean?
Just like that kid in Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
The Tower Arc. Os. I thought
fucking
that's the biggest bombshell.
Sister Complex is here. A Brother Complex and Sister Complex do a hair. And she's like talking
and
about how
she's randomly here now.
And then also she's saying how she loves her curse technique now.
Yeah, because she can broadcast the fights.
And
I love that. Yeah.
Tsudu saying that he's gonna take over the assassination of Yuji.
No, it's he took it over from someone else.
From Salmon guy. Salmon.
Yeah, no, that was from I think he's reminiscing there.
Oh, okay, because I was like, why would you need to anymore now that Sukuna's not in his body? Which still, that whole concept doesn't make sense, because technically the fingers are in Yuji, not in, or does when he eat them, they get absorbed into Sukuna, and then when Sukuna left, he took the finger energy with him.
Or maybe that it was part of Yuji's technique.
The body swap?
Yeah, maybe.
And that's how...
Maybe that's the trigger.
Definitely not where I thought it was going to go. This body swap thing. But
I had a feeling he would want his body. Megumi's.
It's going to be interesting to see how he uses it. And then fucking Kenjaku really thinking he's going to be able to...
Yuji body swapping. I thought you meant Megumi.
Oh, no. I meant...
Yuji,
Yuji.
That is a weird choice. I don't know how that's going to come into play.
I really love how Kenjaku seems to think he's going to take on everybody else while Sukuna's fighting Gojo. I'm like, listen, dude, he showcased it. He's fucking strong.
Well, he was also saying that the three biggest heavy hitters aren't going to be looking at him right now. Though he was saying Maki, Ukotsu, and Hakuri were all going to be waiting for their chance against Sukuna. So he's talking everyone but those three and Gojo.
Right.
Which I do think he stands a much better chance against.
Also, you know what I know? Let's just skip ahead. Gojo looks, first off, like, especially in this shot when he's walking down the stairs, when he's all like kind of bundled up and all that shit, he's like focused. But then at the end, right after
Slap my back.
Right after the slap of the back, this scene, I took a picture of it when they're all, you know, laughing and like patting each other on the back. Gojo just looks jacked, doesn't he? Like, look how like
he's ripped.
Because in the anime, they don't portray him as he's much more thin in the anime. I mean, that's probably
baggy ass clothes in the anime too.
Yes,
he's wearing his jujutsu jacket.
But his I take his chin is much more pointed.
Yes,
drawn out in the anime. Here it's more...
They gave him a jawline.
A jawline, and he's much more chiseled. And
he's
just
been working out in the prison room.
Maybe. All right.
What else is there to do?
Exactly, right? Push-ups. Calisthenics. That's all there really is. Panda is not a panda. It's a tiny panda.
Yeah, let's take everyone else now. We got... Well, that's even if everyone fights, because I doubt Kusakabe's really going to fight, as sad as it is to say. But we got... Miwa, Panda, Inumaki, Kirara, Witch Girl, Momo, I want to say her name is.
Yes. I think so.
I would assume Mei Mei's going to be fighting.
Maybe.
I hope. Ui's there. Maybe she's just there to get Ui back. I forgot what his curse technique is, but I love his design,
Yeah. I don't know. And then I wonder, is Angel, Angel kind of did her thing to get Gojo out, or is...
She was still around. She was in that shot where everyone was talking to hyping up Gojo when he came out. Higuruma, sadly, was like covered up by people.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw her.
I'm just so amped to finally see Gojo versus Sukuna. And I would say like a 99% Sukuna. Oh yeah, there she is, looking at hiding behind everyone.
There's Higuruma. Oh, so yeah, talk about Choso, Higuruma.
Wait, Choso's in that picture? He's alive?
Right there. Yeah, remember Yuki was like, "Go live as a human now," and got him out of there.
I do remember that. She got fucked up. I liked her, man.
I liked her too.
She just kind of... She's a character that just kind of get thrown at us, and I loved her, like, instantly.
Oh, man. Everybody's smiling.
Yeah, that's not going to last too much longer.
Last time we'll see that. Hey, look at fucking Yuta smile, man. Look at that boy. Even Choso does look like
he's got a little smile. Yeah, he's got a little grin on him. A little cheeky grin.
Artist guy, go leave. I don't want you here. You're a body.
I forgot that the old man was still alive, too, or even a thing.
Gakuganji, me too.
Guitar guy.
And then, like, everyone was also complaining that, God, I can't even remember her fucking name, but she's in that same picture, suddenly back.
Oh, the girl with the scar across her nose?
Yeah, the teacher chick.
Yeah, the one that just basically did nothing.
Nothing.
The whole series.
Kuzukabe's a coward, and he did more.
But
there's a new manga out. God, I have to check that out.
Which one's that?
Newbies Exorcist.
I read it.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
pretty good
Cool.
so far.
I'll have to check
We'll
it out.
see. It's more it's only one chapter, 55 pages, so it's not really spoilers for you.
Yeah.
But you read it. So it's basically the girl that you see there. That's Nue.
Yep.
And she's like, I don't know what she is. She's got to be a spirit of some kind. She was sealed in a high school. She's been there for like 60 years. And the kid, his dad was killed by a spirit. And basically, kind of like a spirit contract, you know. Things happen. It's the first chapter, so.
The shaman can team up.
Well, yeah, he finds his way to her room accidentally because he's got an affinity to spirits type deal. A giant ass spirit attacks some bullies in the school, bites one of the dude's arms off, and then she gives him an ultimatum, being like, you know, I can guarantee you and this one other kid live, or I can give you power and you can defend yourself. And he was like, I'll take the power. And he got 2 swords, the coolest design, and then cut the thing in half. And blew off like half the school building. So
and the protagonist music plays in your mind.
Yeah, all that. But
if you wanna see
some action,
sorry,
gotta be the center of attraction. All right, anyway. But he was less. So he's more of got like a coward complex. So he kind of reminds me of like. His voice sounds like my internal voice for him would be one of those annoying voices, like the dude I loathe from Baccano. What's his name? Jacuzzi. Somewhere like that, in between Jacuzzi.
Go get the young conductor.
Between Jacuzzi and Alan Walker.
I can't blow somebody up.
He's a meek kind of character looking,
I can't
but
do
then
the Alan Walker voice. I can't do Todd Havercorn.
And then there's this other kid. I forget names. One chapter is 0% chance of remembering anyone's name except Nue because that's
it's on the damn page.
It's on the damn page. But this other kid's got a ball cut. He's tall. He's got glasses, and he's just like he looks like he's going to be one of the supporting characters or like another main character. He didn't get powers yet, but he's like one of those people that like I could see you getting him.
I can already tell
in the next chapter.
Be colored.
Yeah, well, he was like very impressive through the chapter, just with like his level of wanting to protect other people and not giving up to bully. Like the chapter opens, I didn't even know because I didn't really pay too much attention on the main cover. So when I first read it, I was like, "Is this the main character?" But I should have known because the other guy has that edgy little single color hair strand that's in the front that's a different color than the rest of his hair. That's not around his one eye, and I'm like, that screams main character syndrome. But like these bullies wanted to go buy us some lunch. The other kid with the ball head, and he just straight up tells him to fuck off. I was like, yes, I like you. Don't let bullies just bully you. Tell them to fuck off. Chances are they will fuck off. They'll get bored and leave you alone. But he was cool, and he like threw the main character out of the way to like protect him against the spirit. Yeah. So it's interesting. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's just one of those kind of you'll read it and you're like, it's one of those.
We have another one of those to talk about.
Do Retry.
I goddamn hate that name so much. They need to change that name.
I don't like the manga. I don't like it. I don't think I'm gonna read it.
I'm gonna read it so far. I mean,
I don't like boxing.
2 chapters. I like boxing.
I like kind of the like you were saying,
especially
the undertone
boxing.
The undertone story elements were kind of cool.
The realism, the history.
I like.
I like the period piece. That's a good way.
I like edgy women that smoke pipe cigarettes
and have pistols.
Yeah, and an eye patch. Did she have an eye patch?
Yeah.
She's cool.
I also like the setup and stuff. They really lost me with the shonen elements, which is so weird to say for a Shonen Jump manga. But when he starts shouting his catchphrase his dad said over and over, that's where it starts to lose me.
It loses me when he's like
punching full-grown men to the ground.
Yeah, and he's like 12.
Yeah,
looks 12 or something.
Especially when they set up something with realism.
Yeah.
Though I do like that they showed like the shot of how it like.
Got the jaw and he went down. Yeah, I saw that too.
I do like that too. Like I think there's a lot that could be good. I don't have high expectations, but
there might be a time skip too, being like, you have potential type things, so let's train you up.
Even like a couple years of actual training, please.
Yeah, so it's not 12-year-old main character. It's like a 15, 16-year-old character.
Jack main character. Baki this man. Baki the grappler this man.
But at the same time, the cover does not look like he's going to age much of any.
No, that's very true also.
He looks exactly like that in chapter 1.
We'll see. Again, I really like that setup though. When like his house gets firebombed, I was like, oh, this shit's sad.
For me, of all of the newest manga that we've been reading, the one that has the most potential is Goku Rakugai.
Well, I still have a lot of these to check out personally, at least. I gave Cypher Academy like 3 pages before I dropped that. I'm like, I'm not reading puzzles. I'm not doing it. You're asking too much for me.
Well, because there's that. I saw there's another one that's like...
I want to read Kill Blue, but that makes me think it's going to be too much like Sakamoto Days. A graduate from High School of Hard Knocks, Hitman Ogami faces his greatest challenge yet. Middle school?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
I want to try it, though. I mean, the art style looks okay.
So, I saw a thing out. Apparently, this... Have you heard anything about Blue Box?
Yeah, I heard it's a really good romance one.
So, yeah, well, because apparently it's selling like crazy right now.
I haven't heard anything about anything happening.
Neither have I. I just know that it's a romance and that apparently it's like super fucking popular. But then I read it and it's a sports romance, and I'm like, there's nothing more boring to me than reading sports anime.
Well, there's also Tenmaku Cinema, which I do plan to try at least a couple of chapters of.
I read chapter 1 and I can't say that I read it. I skimmed through it.
They lose me at the ghost stuff, but I want to see how they do it. I want to see how it goes. I do want to give a try reading something that's about creating. Like I want to read Bakuman, the one from the makers of Death Note, kind of like making a manga about them making manga.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to try that. So this is kind of me like taking that back from my life.
Well, unfortunately for us, Kodansha fucking dropped to the ball hardcore.
Oh, yeah. I was so excited.
So I'm not fucking doing that.
I'm not either. There's no way.
There's a 0% chance. For any of you uninformed, Kodansha manga app that was going to drop. Yes.
I almost want to... Oh, sorry to cut off our intro. You're good. I almost want to download it, use a free ticket once to read a chapter, and then delete it. So that their metrics know that was a lost customer.
Yes.
Because, like, their metrics, when you boycott something...
Their metrics don't tell you.
They're like, oh, that's just not my customer base.
Yeah.
Manga's niche. No, I'm a manga fan. I hate your gacha loot chests to earn points.
Yeah, it's so bullshit. You watch ads, and it's like, so at most, I was looking at so how it works, right? You download the app. Right from downloading the app, you get 3 tickets to read 3 free chapters of any 3 different titles, or 3 to 1 title.
To rent those.
That's 3 chapters.
That you get like 72 hours of reading that chapter.
That's fucking, yeah. And then you have to earn points by listening to ads to then read 1 more chapter, or pay a price per chapter to read.
Which is about $1 to get 100 points. And chapters are going to cost, pretty much iTunes, anywhere from 69 cents to $1. So it's pretty much $1 a chapter. And an ad gives you at most 50 points, I think.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad.
So not only that, if you were trying to follow 4 different titles a week, you're telling me that you would have to spend like $18 a month on a manga app?
Fuck that.
Screw that noise. No.
Not when the competitor's charging me $3 a month with unlimited access.
Someone living under a rock somewhere just discovers Attack on Titan and prefers manga over anime, and they go on the Kodansha app and they want to read Attack on Titan. That's, I don't know how many chapters Attack on Titan is. 150-ish. You can tell me they have to spend $150 to read Attack on Titan?
And
on an app?
That's not even the worst part yet either. Not just ads. You can't turn off the ask ads not to track your information thing.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yep, you will not get your points, it says. You need to have that checked on for it to have, pretty much just siphon your information. And, I already forgot my B. B, and I could be wrong about this one, but I'm pretty sure it said you could only have one daily ticket. Like, it doesn't stack. You can't log in every day for your daily ticket, and then, like, on Sunday, you're like, I'm going to read 7 chapters of Blue Lock.
That's just horrible. I really hope, like I said to you when we were talking about this, I really hope they fucking Sonic the Hedgehog this thing on the internet and just do...
So.
Literally,
I doubt it. It might earn them money. This is all video game bullshit. That's what it is. This is exactly the video game market and mobile game market put into manga.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's bad. Somehow came out worse than Webtoon. Webtoon's actually feeling kind of
just do a fucking
nice.
Subscription like everyone else.
For the love of God.
Speaking of that too, you know what I fucking think if I could be, well, it's not really the only thing, but if I could be Omega overseer of the country for a day, not just president, because you got to push it through Congress, all that bullshit, but I would make it super weird, super niche, but I would make it so that it is illegal to have, like, because you just mentioned games, in-game currency, it has to show dollar amount.
Yeah.
US dollar amount or Canadian dollar, wherever you are. Well, you can't universally. I do it for the planet because you think, oh wow, it's $15 for 6,000 these crystals or gems or this kind of gold or whatever it is.
And then the thing I need is 4,000. Now I got this 2,000 left. The next best thing is 3,000.
And you realize that you just spent $15 on a video game skin.
And this is coming from people that have done it.
No, I've done it too.
Yeah, we know though. That's why we can tell you it's bad.
And you don't think about it until you, like, if you rack up the fucking dollar amount at the end of the day and you're like, wow, this $70 game that I bought and the amount of money I put into it,
just they plastered the amount you've put into the game on the purchase screen. I think that would go a long way.
I just think seeing the dollar amount for a skin in whatever it is, Apex Legends, Overwatch, Fortnite, anything, instead of gems, crystals, Fortnite points, or coins, or whatever they call them, instead of the number of coins, it says a dollar amount. I feel like it would be such a deterrent.
It definitely is, because when Overwatch 2 dropped, and they still use a premium currency, but people immediately realized through simple logic that it's pretty much $20 a skin. When these people started floating around the $20 number, it's different.
It is, yeah.
They could see how ridiculous that is.
And it's just wild, because it's just greed. Yeah. There's no need to skin to be that much money. I'm
really pissed off with battle passes, because it's literally just to hook us up to the machines.
Yeah, it's an ingenious tactic on a profit margins.
Yeah, you're profiting both ways. You're getting money up front. You're getting more money for tiers for impatient people or people that are falling behind.
And you get people playing your game consistent. Yeah, engagement. So it's an ingenious strategy, yes. But
and it's a
but battle passes are, for me, it's whatever, because I've bought in battle passes in Smite before because I'm like, all of these skins are cool. But then there's other ones that I'm like, all these skins suck. So I'm passing on this one. What I don't like too is loot boxes. I fucking loathe loot boxes. I won't buy a loot box because you go in and you're like, oh, a new skin. I want that skin, right? Oh, it's in a loot box with 15 different items. You got to roll like 7 times. This is no one, like, if you say you get the skin that you were looking for in your first roll, you're lying. I don't believe you.
Apex events. Apex events are the fucking worst. They have these really hype things, which, just for context on how rare it is, the pity system for this is if you roll 500 loot boxes, you get a guaranteed one of these. It's
500?
500.
How much does it cost to roll a loot box?
$1 at least.
So $500 in, you can get a
guaranteed.
At least, so Smite, if there's any new skin they do, the new thing, you can direct buy the skin for what would be equivalent of 3 rolls of the chest.
You get way, way worse.
Trust me. I'm sure.
This is to get a melee weapon, which doesn't affect in-game. It's just for when you go stow away your weapon to run faster, you'll hold it, and you do cute little animations with it. It's cool.
I guess.
So, when they put out new ones of these, like this character's new melee weapon's out, there's usually an event tied to it with special new loot. These loot boxes are $7 each. There's, I want to say it's 24 items. And if you get all 24, you get that new melee weapon or prestige skin guaranteed. So that is...
Calculator time,
baby. Because I'm big dumb
Can you passively earn these
Those
things?
ones?
But no. I mean like the currency
to buy loot
those,
boxes.
yeah.
No, you can earn loot boxes
like
though. Like every other level, you'll get regular loot boxes, but not the $7 event ones.
Yeah, of course.
Those ones, there's no way to even earn them usually. Some events you might get 2 from doing event stuff out of the 24.
Smite has like a daily login, and for 7 days a week, and on the last 2 days you get some gems, and together I think it's 50 gems. So you get 50 gems a week.
It's $168, and the FOMO too, because it is like a 2 to 3 week event at most.
Yeah, dude, that's
absurd.
Absurd
for such a fetch item that's going to be locked behind a loot box with the 500 loot box pity system after, if you don't dish out all this money for all these cosmetics you don't want in the event.
Because look, I'm all for people spending money on whatever they want to spend money on, right?
I'm not,
but I want those people to be able to spend their money one time and get the one thing that they want. I'm not for them having to gamble to get their item. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I'm against loot boxes, and I'm against like digital currency that you buy $5 worth of it, and it gives you 5,000 tokens to think you're getting this huge, awesome value, and they always put them on sale all the time.
Oh yeah, you know there's like a room full of mathematicians and marketers that come up with these exact numbers too.
Yeah, so I'm not for it at all. And no. I hate it.
I think it's actually, like, the whole thing needs regulation, because this is all money that's going into, like, a fire pit, too, really.
It's basically just going in the executive pockets, because...
Because then they lay off people, give themselves their bonus, like, every year.
Because, like, listen, and I know it takes a lot of people to run and operate an online game that's currently constantly being quote-unquote updated. Listen, I'm going to drop some hot takes, maybe.
Hard truths
is what I would say. Apex Legends has been the same fucking game for how many years?
Oh wow.
As in the content wise, because people like content creators I watch for Smite like to try and say it's a new game every 6 weeks that they have an update. It's not a new fucking game. It's the same game with different number stats on a different item that means 0 of anything for the majority of the play base.
We do get new maps.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
That's pretty good. But I mean, it's
Smite updates their map. Well, it's not
It's still not a new game, but
yeah, Smite changes colors and kind of like makes adjustments to the conquest map, but overall it's still the map. They'll change the map, so they just released this new map this season. It'll be that way. They'll have this map for the next 4 years. Yeah. So as long as I've been playing Smite, there's been 3 conquest maps, and I've been playing Smite since Paragon closed.
So Apex came out with 1 map. They're up to 5 now.
Nice. But
and other modes too. They came out with modes over time.
Overwatch 2 is not a new fucking game.
Overwatch 2 is the same fucking game.
It's the same fucking
game. It's the absolute same game. You can call it an improvement. That's fair. It's not a new game. Especially when they still haven't put out that fucking PvE mode.
So, I don't know. I forget where I was really going with that point.
I'd be going with it is that where's the gall to be charging $20 for a skin? That's not... Especially Apex. Apex recolors and rearranges shit so fucking much. You do not deserve my $20 for that, sirs. You deserve to be paid. You deserve to work you don't deserve to charge people such egregious amounts for these things.
Right. I remember my original point on why I was saying that the games don't really change that much. So yeah, it takes a big team to maintain the game, but it's not like you're putting an astronomical amount of content in it. Like an MMO is different in that aspect alone, in the sense that every time there is new stuff added, it's new stuff. Yeah, they reuse certain assets. It's new fights, new this. World of Warcraft, anytime they come out with a new expansion, it's every expansion.
You get a raid that they're going to be doing for the next fucking
6
months.
Like every new expansion is like a whole new game's worth of content in it. Not so much the same for an online game like Call of Duty or this or that. I mean, Call of Duty has
most of their updates are getting a new legend.
So what I'm trying to drive home is the team does not need to be that large. Like you don't need hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Maybe for service maintenance people, but like content creators, not as in like YouTube content creators, like like video game content developers.
Yeah,
the development team doesn't need to be massive. So when you think of the millions of people that play Apex Legends or Call of Duty or Fortnite and all this stuff, and each one of those people are constantly putting in $20 here, $20 there, $30 here, $50 here with all these gems. It's an asinine amount of money flowing in for a relatively small level of employee base, and a relatively small amount of content being pushed out the door back to you.
I think that's even worse, because I was going to come back and be like, well, I mean, Apex goes down all the time. There's always system errors. But that's not the same people that are making skins. System developers are different than like.
Well, that's because that's where all
skin developers.
That's where the work goes. Is what skins can we recolor? How long does it take?
I just want them to bring down
skin?
the prices and be more honest. You do not just need.
And these video game developers are not making bank off of the money that the game is making.
Again, they get laid off for Bobby Kotick's bonus. Like,
yeah, the executives, whatever company, the parent.
They know earnings calls coming. They're like, if I lay off all the people now, all of the board are gonna love me, and I'm gonna get my super juicy bonus.
Exactly.
That was the context in which I say I hate rich people. I know there could be good rich people, but that's the part that I think of. I think of good old Bobby and his shit-eating grin.
Bobby
Kotick, the CEO of Activision.
/ Blizzard?
/ Blizzard.
No. Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a big old motherfucker.
Speaking of Blizzard,
what a transition.
Great. Not even...
Man, fuck Bobby Kotick, but Blizzard. But this Blizzard game, though.
So last podcast, or the one before, recently within the last two, I shit on barely shit on. Yeah, I had a misinformed take of Diablo IV, and you, sir, got to talking to get. We tried the beta Server Slam, whatever you want to call it, this past weekend.
Just again, I wasn't even trying to recruit 15th. You so much as like, on the chance that he'd like it, this would be the time to try it. Where it's free. Not $70. Yeah.
And I'm gonna buy the game.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be playing it.
My boy.
We played some Diablo all weekend. I played all night Friday. Played Saturday morning, and then I played Sunday before it closed down.
I wasn't sure if I just woke up or what. When I saw your text, it was like, I forgot exactly, but you're like, you won.
Oh, yes.
I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Did he make a bet? Did I forget a bet? And then I was like, wait, I saw that he's on Diablo. You liking Diablo? ? Yeah, LOL.
Yeah, so I started with Sorcerer Friday night, and I played basically all night Friday and into... Because I only played a little bit in the morning on Saturday, and that's when I kind of like finished what I was like. I got to level 20 finished. There's still more I could have done in the beta, but I didn't want to overload myself of repeated content, because
especially once you hit 22. And
once you told me that anything I do in this game, I have to restart. It doesn't carry over, nothing. I was like, I gotta limit. I'm skipping every cutscene now. Go do
some combats. Yeah.
I skipped everything. I mean, I watched a few cutscenes when I was going through, but I'm like, I'm gonna rewatch all these cutscenes, because I skipped like the opening cinematic.
Don't when it on release.
I think I saw it as a trailer, because they
probably. But when full release comes, make sure you watch that. That thing is fucking stunning.
Because, all right, take this for example.
Or watch it on YouTube. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah. Well, fuck my phone. I'll watch it on the beautiful PlayStation 5. But my TV is really not that good, though. I don't have a 4K TV. I talked to a guy and happened to just listen to the text, and he's like, "Oh, do you remember me? I'm the guy that when you fell off your horse and I pulled you into that cave." And I was like, "When did I fall off a horse? When did I get pulled into the cave? What are you talking about? That didn't happen. I got drugged by some fucking psychos first thing at the beginning of the game." That's it. That's all I remember.
A wolf, I believe, that tells us that too.
Was it him?
Yeah, it was like it had like a skull face to it, but like a wolf body.
Well, I do remember. Yeah, the portal, and you had to go through. Yeah, in the woods. But so I played through Sorcerer as a lightning mage. Read through a lot of the skills too that go down to the bottom, and like that. I'm sure there's a lot that I'm missing too, because like I didn't fuck around with everything. I was just really Friday night was all of a. I'm just gonna
throw myself into this.
I'm just gonna do stuff. I don't care to learn everything. I don't care to do this, that, or the other. I'm just gonna do it. See how it is. And I was impressed. I was like, the graphics are way better than I thought they were gonna be. Like in game,
easily the best looking one. I mean, that could be obvious.
Diablo 3 is how old?
But yeah, Diablo 3 is
and Immortal is on.
Yeah,
I told Neil, my wife.
Well, even art direction wise, Diablo 3 was like really looked like wow, bright, cartoony.
I looked at my wife, and she was talking to me about it or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, she knew the name of the game. She wasn't too thing about it." She's like, "Oh, when was the last one?" So, well, Diablo 3 I think was like a very long time ago, and then I was like. Well, then there was Diablo Immortal, but that's just a meme. And she's like, "What do you mean about meme?" And I was like, "It was just."
You guys have phones, don't you?
Yeah, I was like, "It's just a meme." Yeah, no one wanted Immortal; they wanted Diablo 4. So, I'm gonna start my first.
2012 is when Diablo 3 released.
A lot sooner than I thought. I mean, closer to current. So
a lot
11
older
years.
Than I thought actually.
I thought it was. This is going to sound strange marker, but I thought it would be like pre-Skyrim era of video games. Not that Skyrim was this over thing that... Because like Skyrim's 2011.
Okay,
Because I only ever remember Skyrim's date because it was 11/11/11.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. This is something you just remember.
Yeah, no, that works, yeah. I was wondering, I was like, how does this motherfucker know Skyrim's release date?
That's why. But I thought it was like that's just like the game that pops in mind. I thought Diablo was more like the 08, 07, 09.
Diablo 2, which is the big one, is the 90s. That's
Diablo 2 was in the 90s?
I'm pretty sure it was. It's an old looking computer game. Let me look that one up.
Well, I mean, it could also have just been early 2000s because if it's in the 90s and then all the way to 2012.
2000.
Oh.
Right on the dot.
So they just love their like 12-year time gaps, huh?
Yeah.
2000, 2012, 2023.
Hey.
Yeah. Wow. Wild.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so Lightning Mage, Sorcerer, that's what I'm going
with.
with.
It's all the combat, man.
So
it lures you in.
I played because when I first started playing, I didn't focus on any one thing. I was like, oh, I have a new skill point. Oh, I'm getting a fireball. Oh, I got another skill point. Oh, I'm getting this fucking ice storm thing. Oh, I'm getting a new point. Okay, chain lightning. Yes, please. You know what I mean? I was just starting to buy shit. I wasn't like all lightning spells, which I did do right before. Because last I was playing, I was like, okay, I got like a half hour to play, and then I'm leaving. And by the time I get back home, the servers will be shut down. So I respect my entire character into just all lightning shit and just went around and just dicked off. And it was kind of cool.
The only real like restraint is the fact that you can only have 6 skills. So that's something. The only thing to really keep in mind, other than synergies, but like.
Well, you can have more. You just can't put them on your hotbar.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes.
So you can have 6 skills.
Necromancer can have 5.
Yeah. For now too, because I'm worried. I'm wondering if skeletal mages and the golem are going to be summon buttons too. That'll make me sad. That'll make me big sad.
Yeah.
I want my horde gameplay, but I want buttons to press.
I did also play Necromancer as a second character, which like I was telling you, I felt like I did significantly more damage to like hoarded minions.
Necromancer just feels so good. It does so much damage.
Do you know that boss that
And you weren't even using the bones either.
I wasn't. I was using mostly blood magic.
The
and
bone
the
basic
scythe
is
attacks.
3 projectiles, so they shotgun at close range.
Well, because I saw some other stuff too. I need to like read more when I actually get into it on release.
Yeah, but again,
Because, like one skill that I was reading is like, that blood, like, AoE around you. When you use it 5 times, there's a perk that at 5 times it grants overpower. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that does.
if you go, it'll. I think it describes what overpower does, like right under it.
Because I didn't see it on it, and I could have just overlooked. But
I know it does that for berserking at least, because there's some stuff on the barbarian tree.
Because
for berserking.
in Necromancer, there was another skill that I was reading later that was saying that if it was a bone skill and something about lanced. If the enemy is lanced already, it does this, and I'm like, that's got to be mentioned in another skill somewhere that's in this tree.
Nope. I think it's just if they have a bone like spear in them already, it'll do more.
Probably.
And I think overpower does more damage based on your max health. It's just a flat damage buff too. I think.
It was one of the, I don't know if it was one of the like the campaign missions or just a random dungeon, but did you do a boss where it was like one of those demon things that look like Lilith, that's not Lilith, and it spawned these little fire plumes that would grow and blow up as like meteors, and there's this. It was one of the campaign ones where you go through and you got to get the book that's in the middle with the girl whose mother's died. It's like the last, and you go through and you come to a room where there's 2 sealed doors. You can only go in the left one. You can't go in the door on the right. And in there's the boss room where you have to get the book out. That boss, I fought that with both. I fucking murdered that thing on Necromancer. Absolutely destroyed that thing.
I was telling you before we started, because that was before we started, but I was talking about my Necromancer playthrough. Yeah. Where I just had like 20 dudes around me at all times. And
oh, your Diablo 3?
Yeah, my Diablo 3 run was just, it trivialized that game completely. I just literally had to walk through areas and they would slaughter. Things can't get through my minions to get to me.
But
they
I love how too, by the way, this whole time we've been talking here, and everything we mentioned all weekend, right? We were like, oh, barbarian is this, that, and the other. Oh, sorcerer, fucking druid, and necromancer. Not once did ranger come out of either of our
rogue,
fucking rogue come out of either of our mouths.
It's the one I spent the least time with over both betas combined.
I just kind of glanced over and was like, oh, daggers and a bow.
And you can't,
we're going to go something else.
And just like a lot of the other multi-weapon ones or multi-form ones, you can swap between them. But for rogue, the thing that makes me a little butthurt is it seems like it's best to stick to one or the other, which kind of cheapens having both to me. Like, if I'm doing bow builds, then I don't need nice daggers anymore. But there's also the question of, do those stats just all combine onto your character too, which I think they do.
Right.
So I think the barbarian gets the stats from all 3 of the weapon sets that you can equip.
I'm pretty much, because you were saying that you hit for 1400. I think my highest hit that I hit for in the whole beta was like 550.
Well, the big context is that removes their bleed and does that much damage, and everything I do makes them bleed.
Yeah.
So that's why that hits so large. So I knew. I mean, and plus, I make them vulnerable, and I have a damage buff shout, and I'm sure someone else there probably had a buff they brought too. So all that on top of the fact that it was doing my bleed as all damage at once.
So I opened the map. And
my regular swings were like 100. 50, 100, so trust me, I wasn't too much better.
Yeah, alright. And you probably crit with that move.
Probably.
And if it was that high.
But I was also doing constant bleed damage. That's where all the good felt.
The good, yeah.
The good.
Because, like, I looked at the map, and you're saying you don't know what the max level is. And I would assume somewhere around 50.
I educated myself now.
Okay, well, before you say anything.
Yes.
Because I was looking at the map, and it looked like you had free roam to run around the map. I didn't go very far. Because there was places on the map that I could have gone. There was a campaign quest that was accessible to me that I just didn't go to it. It was up north somewhere. Because 2 of them are X'd out that says it's not available in this. But there was another one that I just never did because it was like... whatever.
I know which one that is. It's the one where you can go to the church or immediately go find Prava.
Yes.
If you go to the church, they pretty much make you go find Prava.
Oh. But maybe you can't, because I was looking around at the zones. There's only one level 45 zone, and that's the highest zone I found, level-wise. So I wonder if there's more to the overall map than just that, what was in the beta.
So I have a lot of research, and some things I knew
You
before.
can talk. I'm not worried about spoilers or whatever.
Well, it's not going to be spoilers too much. There's going to be 5 acts, so 5 areas.
So that's area 1.
Yeah, we had free reign of area / act 1. Act 2 and 3 were the other ones that weren't accessible in the beta but had campaign quests because you could go there. I'm pretty sure when Lorath leaves on his horse is when you can start doing any of the stories in any order.
Because some of those, because it looked like to me the game levels with you.
Yes.
So even though that quest said level 15, if I do it at level 30, the quest is going to be level 30.
Yeah, so you can start them in any order. And it should, even if you I don't know this for sure, because this isn't how Borderlands DLC works, but whatever. I'm pretty sure even if you start the area at 30, go back to another one, finish that out, go back to where you went at 30, that'll scale back up to you. It's not going to be hard set to when you entered it either.
Right.
I think. But you'll get free reign of the first 3 acts areas, and I'm assuming once you complete all 3 is when you start accessing the 4th and 5th areas,
which are not visible on that map, or are?
Or they might be the shaded out part to the left of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% on that, but it is confirmed that there'll be 5 areas.
Cool.
And then level. You're actually kind of right, kind of wrong. You're going to stop getting skill points at 50. But the max level is 100, and there's another progression system it transitions to after.
I see. Oh, one thing I did notice when going through it is, just so you know, I don't know if this was a bug that I found or what, because you get a skill point every time you level. That's 20 skill points.
Yes.
There was another thing that you told me about, that you get 3 free skill points. When I accidentally respec'd that last day, it only gave me 3 skill points and got rid of all skill points on my skill tree. And I could only reuse 20, not 23.
That's weird. Well, no. I didn't get 3 free. You can get 3 free. Remember the reward screen on the map I told you about?
Yes.
The first one's skill point, extra potion, skill point, extra potion, skill point. So we didn't have nearly enough to get the other 2 skill points from those rewards. I didn't get them.
Okay, yeah. So maybe I got
but that's
the 1 skill.
Available ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those will be per an area. So you'll get somewhere between 55 and 65 skill points to put on your... Yeah.
Not bad, especially because a lot of the main skills, you can put 5 points in them to
strengthen them. Yeah, that's the part that makes me how much am I going to have free? Because if there's all 6 skill buttons and a capstone, the 6 skill buttons are 5 each, plus the 2 mods that break off from them. Mm-hmm. So that's 7 times 6, it's 42 of your skill points. Plus at least 1 for the capstone. I'm assuming they're not going to stack. They look like 1 strong passive buff.
You mean the one at the way bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be just another 1, so that's 43.
Because it's just a passive. I don't see why you need to strengthen it or whatever.
So that gives you about 20-ish free skill points.
Well, because also I noticed when you're in there, there's a tab for Paragon or something.
Yes, that's going to be the post-50 progression.
Oh, so that's not related to skill points. So maybe you can just...
But it is more progression, too. It's just a whole nother
board of power. I didn't even click over to it, so...
It's not. It's locked till 50 anyways.
Right, I figured. But... Because I wasn't trying to get too deep involved. I was like, is this just a trial run? I don't need to get too don't need to bite too hard into this.
That's why I was also trying not to just splurge with all of the Diablo knowledge.
Well, because, I tried so hard to get them out, and I saw other dudes on horses and shit, but I was like, I don't know what they did to get those horses, but...
Act 3. I don't know. Did players have horses?
I saw a dude on a horse. I didn't know if it was a player or not, to be honest with you, now that I think about it.
So I'm pretty sure you have to go to Act 3 to unlock it. I looked it up in the first beta, because I was like, I want my horse. You put stables here. Where's my horse? You put stables everywhere. Where's my horse?
Because run into that world boss was tough.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't mind running to do combat and stuff, but I kind of started minding running, going to that world boss. Going to Ashava the Pestilent.
Last time we did it, I pretty much got his moveset down.
Me too. I was beasted out. I was feeling myself, dude.
Just because I have the lightning teleport, so good.
Yeah. Teleport has always been OP in Diablo. It was way better before, though. Diablo 2 teleports retarded. I have to reorient myself every time I teleport because I feel like you're going whole maps away. Like, it's nuts.
I like that Sorcerer has 2 dashes.
Yes. Sorcerer just straight up does?
Straight up just has 2 dashes.
Awesome.
Circle is...
So let's say I've gotten boots that give me 2 dashes.
Well...
On Barbarian, at least. But that was just on my legendary boots.
So it's got to be because I had the 2 dashes at a certain point for the rest of my entire playthrough, and I was switching out gear constantly.
Did you lose it?
Never.
Okay, good.
So unless I just happen to always have...
Yeah, no. And you had 2 dashes then.
Yeah.
Because I lost my 2 dashes because I had to take my boots off.
Because the second dash has a shorter cooldown too than the first one. The first one's like, it goes on an 8-second, and then you'll, like, once it cools down and then you use it again, it's like a 3-second cooldown. Yeah. But I was like, that's nice. Because I was able to, like, catch up to you on certain points or, like, pass you a little bit when we're, like, run into certain things.
I was just thinking, though, before I forget, the Diablo 2 teleport is so overpowered that there's this one, like, I want to say staff or rune word that people would equip, and they would swap their equipment, and that staff would let you use the teleport on any class. So just swap their equipment and teleport through the map and then swap back to their main weapons.
Well then. Cool.
Whole meta-defining skill.
For real.
But I do like it in 4. Like, despite not being as much distance, at least it does some goddamn damage.
Lightning teleport does some damage, and there's some nice perks to it too, based on how many people you hit.
I was doing frost armor because I did frost sorcerer, and you did your necromancer.
I did see the frost armor on people. I was like, that looks cool.
What I got, we did that dungeon that gave me that aspect for the legendary power. Mm-hmm. Which thank you for jumping in there. You jumped in there first too, so I was like, yay.
I just started dungeons, like, let's do it.
I saw the reward. I brought us to that dungeon, like, well, walked us there.
Oh, I was just kind of just walking around, killing things.
Because the rewards you see on dungeons in the map are powers that you can put on armor and weapons. So that one was my... I think it was Ice Shard's Pierce and do more damage, I want to say. Which is that 5-shot Ice Shard barrage. So when I got that, I also had in my skill tree Ice Shard's Ricochet. So after I finally put that on my weapon, we were running through, I felt that damage difference. I was slicing through hordes.
When we went through that dungeon with when you come up to the girl, Nabilia's mom.
Yeah.
When we're going through and we're running with her and Vigo. See how dude's name? So it was just the 4 of us 2 and 2 NPCs. Every horde died in one cast of an ability for me. And you. You would throw your ice storm, it would vulnerable. I did my fucking blood
thing gone.
AoE, and literally every single enemy just died.
See, I like the ice storm more because actually vulnerable things that felt like good team play. But I did the ice shards. I was just going through, it was like, oh shit, all those ghouls. Those 20 are dead. Those are dead. Cool.
See, because like I seen that. And then I seen Necromancer, and I've been thinking to myself, I was like, maybe Lightning Mage ain't the way to go because it seems that it might be weaker than both Necromancer and Ice Mage. Also, and Fire Mage does mad damage too.
Well, there's also more to like buff and optimize. And I'm sure
my equipment didn't match it, and I didn't do anything with enchantment, armor enchantments.
Yeah.
I did the enchantment
You also might have been on my world tier when you started playing with me on Lightning
Yeah, you
Sorceress.
said that because the only thing I remember seeing for worlds tiers is it at the end of character creation, it asks you for hardcore. A yes or no, and I just don't do hardcore.
It should also ask you which of the 4 difficulties, 2 of which should be locked, because you have to do something like in-game to beat and unlock them.
Yes, yeah, I didn't know that. So I just, whatever the default is what I was probably doing. I just made sure it wasn't on whatever hardcore is.
Yeah, because hardcore's permadeath.
You just die and it deletes your character?
Yeah, straight up deletes your character.
Ooh, who would do that?
I mean, I had to on D3 for the trophies. I still don't have my platinum, but I got those. I got all the hardcore trophies.
Oh, nice.
For beating the game, beating Diablo after hitting 70. Like, you can't just go there whenever and beat him. Like, you have to be 70 on a hardcore character, beat Diablo, and then beat Malthael, which is the angel in charge of death.
Then yeah, we're 100% killing the creator, dude. If you're saying in Diablo 3...
Oh my god, dude. Diablo is just like... It's just fun. It's just a wild ride. You kill all the things. Like, Act 2, you're killing the Lord of Hatred. Act 4, you're killing the Lord of Sin. Act 5, I'm killing the fucking angel of death who came down and started purging the souls from the land, stole away the soul stone that had the primevals in it. It was just going to destroy Sanctuary.
Well, then, hopefully, Act 1 isn't killing Lilith. She's on the cover.
I doubt it. Like, oh, man. I'm sending you some cinematics tonight. I'm sending you 2 of the Diablo 3 cinematics.
I was also super confused when I first went through the dungeon the first time. You were there. We went to it together. When we went through the dungeon with Lilith's child, the one that was dead. But then in a cutscene, the first cutscene in the church, he's standing at the door with her, and she tells him to go make preparations. But then later down the road, like the first cinematic cutscene you see when the first time you use the pedals, is that not the necromancer standing at the door?
Yeah.
But then we just found his dead body impaled by a staff, and she's like, "Everything you could have been was stolen from me." I'm like, bro, wasn't he just with you?
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just like a worshiper then.
Yeah, I was confused about that. I did watch that cutscene because that cutscene was...
I was going to ask if you watched the church cutscene.
Yeah.
You still need to watch the opening cutscene, though. That's when Lilith comes to Sanctuary.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it on YouTube.
And then there's another cutscene that was out on YouTube. I'm wondering if it's going to be one of the act cutscenes. It's literally the Holy Army versus Lilith's army.
That sounds dope.
It's fucking lit. And it has the girl at the church, the black chick. It has her at the lead too, and she bows as the spears are coming over her head. It's cool. It has the best goddamn cinematics. The Diablo 3 cinematic. Diablo possesses a girl that you were traveling with, and fucking Act 4 opens up in the high heavens. Diablo walking up as this chick, got his swagger going, walking up to the gates of heaven. It's like, I know who you are. He just turns into Diablo and fucking brings the army in. It's so good. It's so good.
So Diablo's the bad guy for Diablo 3.
Yeah,
what about Diablo 1 and 2?
He's also the bad guy for 1 and 2.
So you think he's going to show up in 4? Or is he dead in 3?
I do wonder. If I remember right, they're all still in the Black Soulstone. I mean, all of the biggest evils that were around at the time, which is Asmodan, Diablo. Something that begins with a B. Belial.
Belial, yeah, it's a big demon name. And Lilith being the first wife of Adam.
I know Diablo 1, you are a dark wanderer and evil has come. You kill Diablo. Diablo 2, someone's been walking around summoning evil. It's the guy that kills Diablo in Diablo 1 gets possessed by Diablo, and you gotta put him down.
Your player character?
Yeah, at the end of Diablo 1 succumbs to Diablo, so Diablo 2...
You're killing your player character. Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
It's lit as hell. And then Diablo 3 just goes like super high fantasy with it. Just go to like Diablo 2, you go to hell. I can't forget that. I mean, it doesn't look as cool as... because it's so old.
Yeah.
But you do go to hell, and that's rocks. And you go to heaven as demons are invading it.
You said Diablo 3 came out in 2012. Is there a remaster or a port to PS4 that you've been playing?
Oh, no. I want to say port. Yeah, I think it was a PS3 game, and then it had one expansion, which was what added Act 5, where you fight Malthael. Which is also just such a lit cinematic when Malthael comes.
I hope that with whatever new jobs classes they may add in the future, which they're gonna, based on our conversation of everything.
The one Diablo 3 expansion is also what brought Necromancer to Diablo 3, so there's precedent for them adding
for at
classes.
least one class.
Yeah.
But
this is the first time they're saying live service. Sorry to keep cutting you off.
Oh, no, you're good. But yeah, because here's my thing with the live service for Diablo 4. What happens if someone wants to play this game 7 years from now? There's no offline play. Is it just going to be a dead game? What's going to happen to that person if they're the only person on the map? They can't kill any world bosses.
Which, to be fair, is the same of any MMO or live service game. It sucks that it's the only one in the line of Diablo that'll... is it? Yes, it is. In the line of Diablo, that'll be that way. I know 3. I know you can go offline in 2.
Can we just talk about first, real quick, how fucking pain in the dick it was for me to get on Diablo beta?
Because that was the worst sounding CAPTCHA I've ever heard.
Listen, so first off, I did it on my phone. It took me 3 seconds because on my phone it asked me to do it 3 times. I used my PlayStation to get in, and it's like, you need to do the BattleNet shit or whatever. At first, I thought you could just do it whatever. I closed game, reopened, I hit X, cancel, and it wouldn't let me into the game without making a BattleNet thing. So like, okay, whatever. So I made the thing, I got through it, made a password for it.
Make sure you remember that password, by the way.
Yeah. Why is it going to be the same?
I don't know. I'm just saying in case it is.
Okay, well, I do.
Make sure you can log into that BattleNet.
Yes. I remember what it is. I made it super simple to remember.
Good.
So I thought I did it, but then it didn't recognize my password, but then it was because I really didn't verify things. So the CAPTCHA thing to say you're not a robot. They had like 8 pictures lined up, and the question was the same for each time. It was like, select the picture that the face of the dice, so it was like, 6 die, that all the sums added up to 14. I had to do that 20 fucking times.
Yeah, that's absurd.
No, that's not because I failed and had to keep redoing it 20 times. That was the requirement.
It was like 1 out of 20, 2 out of 20,
yes,
3 out of 20.
Correct. And then one of them, I was, because, all right, so I had to do it 3 times, and that's when I gave up. So the first time I went through it, I was looking through it, and I'm like, because now I'm like, so some of the pictures, like, or not really all of them, there's always like, I think it was always 5 or 6 die in the picture. Half of them were the dots of a normal dice. The other ones had the numbers on it. So I had to convert this shit into my brain and then doing math here. In one of them, so I'm like adding that one up. Okay, that's going to be too much. If there's 2 6s in it, I automatically skipped it. But I was like looking through and I'm trying to find the right one and I'm adding them all up in my head and I'm looking. I ran out of fucking time. And I was like halfway through it and says, oh, you didn't select him quick enough. Start over. It's like, you motherfuckers. All right. So the second time, I went all the way through, and I knew it when I did it. I was like, I think that was 13, not 14. The picture I selected.
Oh,
so
no.
whatever. So I went through all the way, got all the way to level 20, got the last one, and they said, nope, you got 19 out of 20. Do it again.
It's a problem when you say level 20 when you're gamifying your CAPTCHA.
In I think I quit halfway through. I said, fuck this. Or something, I forget what happened on the 3rd try, but I didn't succeed on the 3rd try either, somehow. So I went and made the BattleNet account on my phone, and it asked me to do something completely different, and I only had to do it 3 times.
The buses.
Yeah, something stupid like that. So I made it super easy on...
I'm glad you persevered
and that
got through to the game.
Dude, I was 15 seconds away from saying I'm not playing Diablo. Before I even played Diablo. It was bad.
Understandably. It is pretty bad.
But whatever.
But yeah, we're probably getting Paladin. Probably. The pictures I saw looked convincing. I mean, fakes are convincing too, but they looked pretty convincing.
Because I just want some kind of like night class type deal,
and every Diablo's had it up until now.
Because Barbarian, I've seen a bunch of people using Barbarian, and like it's people I saw on my screen using that. You know what I mean? It wasn't people me looking at their screen using it, so I didn't get all of it. And I'm like, I don't know if I like it or not.
So my attacks look simple, but some of those cleaves I was doing, like their health bar goes from this to half of it being bleed and start ticking down. So I do like 2 of those, and the move that takes away their bleed for damage, they're dead.
Yeah.
And I had another move. I only got it from one of my items giving me a point. It was a fucking execute, and if it kills something, it resets the cooldown on it. So you're just...
But I mean, we'll see how it is because I don't do very well with games that want me to replay the exact same thing, but just on a different class. So I will fucking beast out my first playthrough. But I don't know if I will ever have a character go through Diablo 4 as thoroughly as I do the first character I do.
To be fair, when I was going through with my second character, it was telling me I wasn't getting rewards for some of my campaign quests. So I'm wondering if they're even going to make you play through the campaign more than once.
Right. I don't know. But so, because like prime example, Borderlands 2, first character I put through Axton, that dude, I maxed that dude out as far as you could go with skill points, and then going. I think I did New Game Plus, so I beat the game on New Game Plus, and then started I never started
Vault Hunter mode, True Vault Hunter mode.
I never started the second like True Vault Hunter mode one.
Yeah, the ultimate Vault Hunter mode.
Which I actually technically I did, but I didn't get very deep into it. But none of my other characters got close to that. I barely beat the game with another character.
Thankfully, Diablo 3 solved this issue, and I'm really, really hoping they'll keep this little bit in mind. You only have to beat the campaign in Diablo 3 once. And it's kind of like Borderlands, where every zone is a loaded zone. So when I go to travel, there's one new giant loaded zone. Except they're also procedurally generated. But that aside, once you beat the campaign once, they let you run wild on the map with every new character. Even if I start a new character level 1, I can click adventure mode instead, or switch to adventure mode at any time. They plop me down in whatever act, and I can just jump to whatever map or act, and they give me little objectives to do, and there's an end game. But I could level that way too. I never had to play the campaign more than once.
Like you said, the game scales to you.
Yeah.
So you could start in Act 5.
I could go fight the enemies in Act 5 just to switch it up.
Right.
I'm really hoping they keep that in mind for Diablo 4, and that includes the seasons. Like I made seasonal characters, and I could go into adventure mode still and just.
So I assume then that because the only bosses that obviously don't.
Yeah, Shava doesn't seem like he scales
because he's just level 25, so all world bosses wouldn't scale.
That, or they only start scaling once you're actually getting past their level.
Right. Well, because I was thinking that too, is like, what would happen though if a higher level came to fight with us in that fight? Like, say we're like, we're playing.
Yeah, we're all 25, and there's a level 40 in that room,
or 3 level 40s. Does it scale his level up to the average? Because then we're fucked. You know what I mean? Or does he just get obliterated by those level 40s? Because, progressive damage overload, I'm sure.
Or does it sink the 40 closer down to us?
Right, because it's like, my way of looking at it is, in an MMO instance, if you're a level 40 and you come back to fight something 15 levels lower than you, you are obliterating that thing. Yeah. So it took, say it takes 15 of us to kill it at its level. It'd take like 4 of them to kill them at their level. So, you know what I mean? So who knows what's going to happen with that aspect, because it's live service. You can't really... I don't know how the scaling works, or if the sync modes...
It'd also be interesting if all the world bosses spawn at the same time. So maybe people would only go for like the ones that they really need something from.
What I hope, because you said that they're weekly spawns, I hope that they're weekly spawns, but the time of day that they spawn is different each time. Because if one world boss spawns at 9 o'clock every Tuesday morning, I'm never fighting that boss because I'm at work. I work the 9 to 5, not really 9 to 5, but I work the 9 to 5. So unless it's at some point spawns when I would be at home, I'm shit out of luck. Or on a weekend spawns, because then I can I could look it up and be like, okay, plan my weekend out to be like, all right, let's be on Diablo at this time so I can have a crack at this world boss. That's something that I've always wanted 14 to do. They have S ranks, but an S rank spawn is so much not cool compared to world bosses in other games. Like, I've seen my wife play Guild Wars 2. The world bosses in that thing are fucking epic.
Ashava felt pretty fucking good.
That felt awesome. The world bosses that I've seen spawn, it's just like the whole aspect
some
of
bosses early on that were like that. Like the Odin felt like that back in the day.
But that's what I'm saying. So Odin is really the only one 14 has, because there's Odin and then there's the behemoth kind of.
But they've redone the behemoth so many times.
They have, and Odin's still like, people still kind of do Odin because Odin's a rare spawn like that. There's the S ranks, but S ranks. See, there are so many people that go to the S ranks when they spawn that those things just die so quickly that any mechanics that they do have is just meaningless. Odin has so much fucking HP in the first place and so much wide range AoE shit that's going on. There's so much stuff you could do in that feat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To keep you going. S ranks are whatever. And then the only other thing is every new expansion has that one fate. That one quote unquote Odin.
That won't live up to Odin.
Yes. Literally the entire play base farms it in the first 2 weeks of the expansion launch, and no one ever does it again. Each one has a mount that it gets to. You have to
once you have the mount, you're done.
Yeah, you have to beat it twice and you're done. Then you'll never fucking do the fate again. And it's a hard spawn to do. You gotta have multiple people trying to spawn it. And it's like, but world bosses, there's world bosses every time my wife logs into Guild Wars 2 that I've seen her do at least time. They spawn, and people are still doing them. So there's repay value in those. So
I'm hoping there'll be a world boss per an act area. Yeah, I've seen another world boss in their promotional footage or trailers and stuff. There's one that has a cage tied to his arm, and he smashes it on the ground and does a sweep with it.
It's cool. So I'm really hoping that next expansion, 14 tries to implement some world bosses. That would be nice. Hopeful, wishful thinking, but Diablo seems interesting. Necromancer's cool. I might play a round with that.
I really think they'll do Paladin because Diablo 2 had Templar, Diablo 3 had Crusader. It's literally iconic to their games to have a knight class.
Right. Druid doesn't. I mean, I only saw a few druids.
Even more proof, no one has any sort of special synergy with shields yet. Barbarian has weapon proficiencies with every single weapon type besides scythes, bows, shields, things that are tied to other classes. But I have mace proficiency, I have polearm proficiencies, I get static buffs for each different type of weapon.
I was using a sword and one-handed sword and a shield on my necromancer, but it was more for aesthetics because the basic attack that I chose, when you go swing it, it swings a giant scythe.
Diablo's always been that way too. Diablo 3, I keep using whatever weapon I have, so I'd be like a necromancer walking around with a two-handed mace, but then I go to do my basic attack, it saddles on my back, I start draining the blood from people.
It's a stat booster.
And then I start walking again.
It's a stat booster. That's it. I gotta look into it though, because maybe lightning synergizes better with wands instead of heavy staffs.
It's all about attack speed versus attack potency, really, for if you should go one-handed or not. And anytime,
I think lightning then would be better off with speed. At least in my mind, it is.
The part that pisses me off is that having something two-handed on pretty much ruins comparing. Because you'll go to a sword, your one-handed sword, and be like, ah, shit, this is weaker. But the only way to get a real comparison is to equip that sword, equip your best offhand you have on you at the same time, then look at the two-handed one and see if it's more damage.
Yeah.
So that part sucks. It's needing a good offhand or a good sword at the same time to get a good comparison. You almost have to hold your best offhand till you get a good sword to compare it to the two-handed weapon. That's the only thing that pisses me off, and it's not an easy problem to fix.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
I literally had to do that once as my sorcerer.
I did it a few times as well.
Like, do I want this wand? Let me put this wand on. Do I have an offhand? I don't, so let me wait till I have an offhand. But generally speaking, it's
I don't like
speed.
that the stones, like diamonds, emeralds, and all that, take up the same inventory as equipment.
I also hate that. They should have their own section. You give me this big ass tab for key items I don't really need yet.
Yeah. Put
it in with materials, because you're going to be combining gems to make them bigger gems.
Yeah, I was fucking because I'm sure that if we spent more time farming out to try and like maximize our characters, we could have beaten that world boss. Because this is I was playing again and I got 2 extra pieces of equipment. I keep getting equipment that's better and better and better with defense or anything. Then I'm getting like slotted equipment. So,
on one hand, I'm sure we could beat it because they're giving out a reward for beating it. On the other hand, the first beta let you get to 25 and also had a Shava spawning every 3 hours. So I wonder how they like. I'm wondering if being at 20 was really, really hurting us. I didn't try a Shava in the first beta. The first beta I kind of played like you were playing. I was like, I'm just going to throw myself at this game and do whatever the fuck I'd want to do.
Right.
All the optimizing can come later.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Necromancer or Sorcerer, really. I didn't play Druid. I didn't really see many people playing Druid either.
Yeah, it's funny because after the first couple betas, I was watching everything Asmongold. I almost said Asmodan, Lord of what something, Sin, whatever. Asmongold, Lord of Pepsi.
Yeah.
I was watching all of his videos, and there's a great meme flowing around about how Druid's the weakest class. Because he was watching one guy play, he's like, and I pop my whirlwind, for I shit you not, 17 damage. And he even took a picture of the guy's face in there. He's just memeing the ass off.
Sadness.
And that was the class I played in the first beta. I went straight into Druid first because that is what I beat Diablo 2 with. Because Druid wasn't in 3. And I was like, werewolf form, fuck yeah. I mean, I thought it felt fine until I wasn't playing every other class, though. I go through a sorcerer, and yeah, it's... Even Barbarian, it was a lot faster killing that first boss than it was on Druid. But they're already buffing it and stuff. And I also... Druids don't have access to their class mechanic yet in the beta, because it's go to Act 3 to unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother system that's literally picking buffs to have on that they don't have access to. So some of their stat advantage might come from that.
Right. Well, maybe, I mean, they'll buff, I assume. It's live service, so I assume if any class is struggling or any particular aspect of a class, like, say, people are like, wow, fucking Ice Mage sucks, but Fire Mage is so strong. We want to play Ice Mage, so buff Ice or something. Or nerf stuff. That's what I always hate, though. Don't nerf things that aren't.
I'm glad, personally, I haven't played New Necro. I'm pretty glad that they let minions die sometimes now.
That's a nerf that's acceptable. But, like, okay, well, Ice Mage is underperforming, so let's nerf Fire Mage, not just buff Ice Mage.
Yeah. And they're pretty good about that. I mean, Diablo's all about feeling powerful. I'm confident, as someone who has at least touched all 5 classes now, that all 5 feel good. They feel fun to play. I mean, I could spend some more time on Rogue. I didn't even get the Rogue like class mechanic when I played it, but I killed the shit. It felt the good.
You killed the shit. It felt the good. Yeah, that's really all you can ask for, right? So,
and I think the thing I'm most impressed with, and the thing I was most looking forward to, is build diversity. I feel like every class has plenty of build diversity in it.
Well, I mean, just from what I saw, Necromancer has 3 different, well, even more than just on the skill tree, because you can choose, okay, I don't want the mage necros, I can sacrifice having those
for a certain buff or to have an extra skill on my skill bar.
I don't want the melee skeletons. And then you could choose 3 different melee type skeletons. You can choose the swords, you can choose the tankier with the shield, or you can choose the scythe ones that everyone chose. Or you can choose. Then when you get the floaty mage ones, each one of those had a choice that you could get. Yep. Most of them were locked. Or you could choose to sacrifice that one. And then there was another tier for the golem. And was it just the golem or was it something else? I don't remember.
Even like sorcerers, for example, obviously you have the fire, ice, lightning paths. But then I noticed a passive for you get 1% more damage for each conjuration you have up right now. You can do a whole ass conjuration build.
What is conjuration in this game?
When in the middle of each node, it tells you the theme of that sector.
Yeah.
The conjurations were all the skills in that node. So the fire hydras, ice blades, I want to say lightning lance.
Oh, I don't think I really paid too much against that. Oh, the fire hydras were fucking crazy.
So that whole area was conjurations. So instead of like taking whatever the next skill is or taking a defensive, maybe I'd take passives there and just take hydras, ice blades, lance, and get if that passive stacks 3 times, 3% more damage per an active conjuration. Then take the enchantment for ice blades and the enchantment for hydras that passively spawns more of those.
Yeah, dude.
So you have a minion sorcerer build on your hands.
Yeah, because the enchantment buff, if you choose incinerate, it's just a random chance to have one of those hydra just
come up and start doing incinerate.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I looked at that whole list, and meteors was lucky hit chance on all of your hits for a 3% chance to summon a meteor.
For fire?
Yeah, and there's buffs to lucky hit chances too, so you can try to buff that chance.
I don't know, maybe I'll try fire. Well, because that's a good thing about respecing.
And very free with that too. So like
they need to change that. If you press the button, it doesn't respec everything, and if you hold it, it respects one. Yeah. No, flip it,
but at least
press it, respec one.
Hold. On the respecs.
Yeah.
Because even Druid, I could see multiple builds. Just like Sorcerer, there's like a Wind Magic path, Earth Magic path, and then Werewolf and Bear path. But then there's a passive at the end where instead of picking like the Werewolf or the Bear one, there's one for switching between them and like incentives to pick like a mixed build.
Right.
I've seen people playing Werewolf doing the regular Werewolf skills, which have like poison support, or they'll take Werewolf and do storm spells at the same time. So you cast Hurricane around you while you're melee attacking as Werewolf. There's a lot of build diversity to sink my teeth into.
Yeah, plus each class has multiple different weapons they can use. And
legendary powers will come into the mix.
Whatever the Paragon level system is, you're talking at 50 up to 100.
The legendary powers are the biggest buffs in the game. It's the orange text that comes on legendaries, or it's the rewards you get for dungeons that you can put on weapons to turn them into legendaries with that text that you got from the dungeon. These things are ridiculous. They're like a super buff to skill. They're pretty much like getting a skill tree point.
Well, no, I had
onto a weapon.
I had.
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
Well, I had two because I had respect, and I was like, why do I still have a perk in this skill? And then I'd go to it, and it's like skill given to you by equipment piece, whatever.
Well, I worded that a little badly.
Gives you a perk.
I had a legendary power in Diablo 3 where when I cast Incinerate, 5 beams would tether off of me and hurt enemies on top of the Incinerate fire beam. That's how strong these things are.
Damn.
Some of them, I had one that's like, when you summon a ghost, it acts as if you have this skill point. So I could forego that skill point and get another one. So it has both effects.
On top of being able to upgrade at the smithy of each piece of armor.
It's so much to consider too. But those legendary powers, that's the big dick. The big dick.
Yeah, you're going to be buko strong at level 100. And at that point, though, is there challenges at that level?
I'm wondering. They have talked a little bit about endgame. There's like stuff to turn dungeons into like super dungeons. There's something called Helltide, which like goes through areas and turns them into like nightmare versions of them. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Speaking of like, now that we're in person, I can describe this better. I went and did the sorcery quest to unlock that enchantment ship. at level 20. So I go down there and I go to do that dungeon. When you get to the point where there's the 2 pedestals chaining the thing in the middle, and you got to go to the 2 sides or whatever, get the piece and bring it back. So as soon as I went in there, before I even got either of the pieces to the pedestal, I was just walking towards that center thing, and a giant Minotaur Colossus thing came out of me at me, and it had a health bar like a boss. You know, it had the health bar at the top of the screen, and it had the little check markers that then drop potions and shit. It was one of those, and he followed me anywhere I went. He left the room when I left the room.
Oh my god!
And because I was trying to avoid him, because one hit did half of my health, and I'm level 20 with like all fucking legendary gear or rare or above. I'm like, Jesus, okay, I gotta keep my distance. And dude, I dumped my whole kit on him, my whole mana, and I barely did any damage to him. And I burst through all my potions. He was chasing me down. I die. Then I respawn at the checkpoint, which is in the next room over, and I run back in, and he was never there. I cleared out the whole rest of the dungeon, and he was not there again.
He looked kind of like that.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Butcher. Yep, that was his name.
I did not run into him, first of all. I want to see what the...
Technical difficulties.
Dungeon. The Butcher is treated as a rare, random spawn in the game, so players have no control over where, when, or even if the Butcher will appear. He just spawns in any random dungeon room, save the boss room.
There you go. So I got him to spawn.
I hadn't seen him once.
And he kicked my ass.
Because like that triggered something in my head where people were saying like the Butcher's pretty scary and this. I'm like, I haven't seen the Butcher. He was just like a regular boss, I think, in D3. Like,
no, he was no joke, dude. Like, one hit, half my health, and he was on top of me the whole time. Because normal bosses, like, there were a lot of bosses that if I double dashed away or something like that as sorcerer, I could get enough distance. I'd turn around and hit him with a few spells. Maybe one of those dashes where up I could dash away again. No,
he was on your ass.
He was on my ass constantly. I'd turn around, I'd get one skill off. He'd get one smack off.
God damn.
Yeah. One like basic, and then I have to try and run and heal again, and I was just like, this is just not happening. I just got mollywopped.
It's fucking cool,
and
though.
And he came out of nowhere, so it took me by surprise too. So I got jumped. I was not expecting it, wasn't mentally ready for it. Like I said, he chased me through because I tried running away into different rooms, and he followed me in there. And then killed me. And I was like, God damn.
Shit.
But that's pretty cool, so that's something to look out for.
Okay. We're going to be doing a lot of dungeons, because again, that's how you get some of those legendary powers in this one.
Mm-hmm. Just clear out every dungeon you come across. Yeah. Basically.
Because I think it'll be cross-character, too, so if you get one that's cool for, like, one character, just make that character and be like, hey, I know what build I'm using. I'm using the one without legendary power.
There you go. But it's cool. I'm going to be playing it 2 weeks from now.
I'm excited.
Next Friday? No. The Friday after.
June 1st.
Yes. Which is 2 Fridays from now. Third Friday. Yes. Yeah,
Third Friday.
2 Fridays past this coming Friday.
Well, Thursday.
Thursday night or whatever?
Yeah, Thursday.
Oh, just straight up Thursday.
Yeah.
It's in a bad spot, though, for me. Because next Tuesday is 14's patch, and then 2 weeks after Diablo is 16.
Yeah, for our playthrough, we're gonna have to just set like a day that we play and then we'll have like
our own character. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be tough. We're gonna have to try and put it because there's a lot of stuff coming out in this patch of 14 that I'm interested in doing. So.
Yeah, I feel like you've said that for like 3 patches now.
Dude, Endwalker patches are fucking lit. There is so much content.
I just keep hearing this. I keep wondering if it's the same patch getting pushed back. Or if it's
Nope. Just another new patch of great content. And it's not like repeated stuff. This one, they added a new type of content to Subterranean. And we've had one, and now we're getting a second version of it. So it's not the same one, because it comes with 3 difficulties right off the rip. There's the regular duty queue up with 4 people, or you can do solo. You can do 1 to 4 people. Then there's so that's the variant. Then there's Criterion, so it's the same thing. You can run in with 4 people. It's like low tier savage difficulty. So it's like it'd be on par with like the first 2 Savage fights, not the second 2, which are the harder ones. So it's in there a little bit more difficult than a extreme trial, and that's 4 people going through. And if you die, you have to redo the boss. So there's 3 bosses in row. It's a dungeon. You clear out the mobs. Even the mobs are dangerous. You have to pull each mob at one time, kill that mob, move the other one, because the mobs have mechanics. It's cool. But then you go through, and if you die on the second boss, you gotta kill the first boss again. I'm pretty sure Criterion. But then there's Savage version that I lied. I'm sorry. If you die, you just respawn in that and you go through. It's the Savage version that if you die, you have to re-clear the entire thing.
Ugh.
So the Criterion one is just hard. All the mobs, once you kill them, they're dead. The boss, once you kill it, it's dead. You just respawn, go back to the second boss if you die at the second boss. It's the Savage one that you have to go through and fight it. So they're doing that, and then a whole new one is coming out.
Nice.
And then there's the Deep Dungeon that just came out, the new Palace of the Dead. It's Eureka Orthos, it's Allegan themed. Then there's Relic Weapons, Gobez trial fight. They didn't even hide it. Every patch they always they hide whatever. They don't tell you what the trial's going to be. They let you figure it out, but they're like, there's no one left in story to fight. It's just Golbez. So they're like, we're not even hiding it for you guys. It's just Golbez. You knew it was Golbez. I knew it was Golbez.
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows Golbez. So here you go. Yeah, it's Golbez. And then there's just a bunch of cool stuff.
Hell yeah.
So I'm interested in it. 16 just looks fucking phenomenal.
It does. I'm probably gonna wait to buy it though, because I'll still be
hard in Diablo.
Yeah, shoulder deep in Diablo. It's gonna be hard for me not to just level up all the classes right away.
Yeah. I mean, I might play it on the weekends because
it is one of those games where you could just sit down and play for an hour and feel satisfied after too.
True.
I played Diablo 3 very arcadey when I came back to it as my sorceress.
And depends on how much Final Fantasy has had a hard trip, really. But it depends on how much content is in 16 to then play. Because 15 didn't have a good launch. I beat basically the whole game in 32 hours, and everything to do in 15 in the 32 hours on a release. I've played way more of that now once all those updates happened, and now you get that definitive
DLC chapters
and all of that put together, because I didn't play it for the longest time, and then I played once everything was complete, the definitive. I went back and I played through the whole game. I actually still wanted. There's still 3 dungeons I want to do, and I still have to do the Prompto
episode Prompto. Did you already do our episode Arden?
No, I didn't buy that one actually. That was the only one I didn't really. I was I don't know if I really care about this or not. But
if it was Aranea, you would have bought it.
If it was what?
Aranea, the dragoon chick from that.
Yeah, they let you play as her in. Do you play as her?
I think so. Prompto?
Well, because she's in the Prompto one. I'm pretty sure she's in the Prompto story. But either way, so end game content, things to do
in theatrhythm.
Okay. Depends on how much post game stuff, because you beat a modern day RPG storyline.
Yeah, let's say even if it has a good post game, it's gonna be secret bosses most likely.
Yeah, and it's really depends on how into the game I am, but do I want to go for all those platinum and go for all those trophies, trophy hunting.
Maybe that shouldn't be that much longer after either.
Yeah, but it'll probably be somewhere around, if you go through and trophy hunt something, you're probably looking at something as a game as big as what this is looking like it's going to be, probably around 85 hours.
Wondering how that Diablo's trophy's going to be. That's going to suck.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's going to be brutal. Get all the statues of Lilith.
That's just running around and collecting them, though. Yeah. The problem would be more fight 5 world bosses that you have no control over whether or not you're at work.
Kill the butcher in 3 minutes of spawning.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm playing Tales of Arise again, so I'm at the end point. It's I'm story wise, I know for a fact I'm there, but I happened to go to the final zone, and I was like, I can totally fast travel back here and out of here right now. Let me just go do a bunch of those side quests that I have and level up a bunch more, because the last boss fight I fought, story boss fight, I was a level under him. Not that I had trouble with the fight, but I'm like, I don't want to be under leveled. Over level is fine too, though. So I'll go through and I found a secret boss, because I saw it when I was playing through the game. I was like, oh, that's a cool tower that looks like is totally interactable. I can walk up to the door, but the door is locked. I wonder what's in here. Well, that door is open now. So I went in there. They make you run up this winding staircase that takes about 3 minutes to run up it, and there's nothing on the stairs. Then you come up to the top, and I totally found the end game secret boss, because he's ginormous. His HP bar doesn't give you a numerical value like every other enemy I fought, even story bosses. It's just question marks. And he's huge, and he's flying off, and you can't even target him. And then I'm level 46 right now. All the enemies, there's like 5 little birds that spawn that you have to fight while he's just kind of like chilling, flying around. All of those are 60. But the type of enemy they are, I can kill them because they're super easy to dodge their shit.
Yeah.
And their HP pools aren't that much, so it's like I can kill them. I kill all of them, but then the one time that giant bird that's been flying around, the actual boss, decides to do anything, half of my party insta-dies. The only reason the other part do is maybe they're on the other side of the map away from the AoE that just killed everybody instantly. And I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, so get on out of here.
I'm going to walk away now. But I'll probably be done with that. I'll definitely be done with it before Diablo comes out. So I assume I'll be done with it by the weekend.
I hope I'll be done with Returnal by the time Diablo comes out.
Yeah. You keep mentioning... I know nothing about this game. I feel like I keep asking you about it.
It's like AAA Risk of Rain, if I was to put it in the least amount of words possible.
Oh.
It is a 3D action roguelike where you crash on an alien planet, and every time you die, you wake up on the spaceship as it's crashing again. You're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like how they wrote the roguelikeness into the story like Hades does. It's
but
fucking hard.
Is it?
The enemy projectiles are a lot like projectiles in Nier. Like where they're the Orby boys that you have to dodge, and they're just... shit's fucking everywhere. Like I was telling you at one point, it rewards you for not getting hit. So it's really trying to tell you, like, keep moving, keep dodging, keep being perfect.
Sweaty palms, sweaty palms, sweaty palms.
It is nutty. That's good.
That is nutty.
Good.
Wild.
It's just really snappy and responsive. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. Roguelikes just maybe there's one out there for me. Same thing. Maybe it's just like this whole Diablo thing.
Probably not a shooter one, though.
Diablo is not for me, and then I play one, and I'm like, yeah, it's actually pretty good. I'll play it.
No.
It might be something like that. But I have been trying to... It's funny because I think I've said this even on the podcast before. I've been trying to limit the number of games I've been intaking because I want to try and...
Read more manga.
Read more books.
Play your guitar.
Play my guitar. Get more time back away from video games.
And then I dragged you in.
It's like once my son goes to bed, it's just like I sit down and me and my wife play video games all night. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. By that time, I'm responsible. All my bills are paid. My house is clean. We do the dishes. We do laundry. We just are bad with folding the laundry. The laundry's clean. It's just not folded and put away. That's one of those things we struggle with. But
Diablo will be a good game for your schedule, though. Again, you can get so much out of Diablo in an hour. You'll get like 2-3 levels in that hour. You'll clear maybe 2 whole dungeons.
Yeah.
Plus other mobs along the way.
So, and I'm clearing out my fucking game base now. You know, I just beat the Valkyrie game. I deleted it off because I was done with it. It was like, there's nothing else I need from it. I'll free up some space in my library.
I need to clear my base. I need to finish Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Me too, but I think we're really close to each other in that, and I feel like we're also really far away from completing it.
Yeah. I'm going to give you the same spoiler I have. It's not a story spoiler much. Spoiler alert. There's another map.
Oh, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Because, no, I knew there was another map because you start the game on a different map.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Yeah, there's another map.
Yeah. You start the game in that town and you have that map there for the little bit you're going around.
Yeah.
And then you go to jail and you come out on the other one. So I'm like, I knew we were going back here. But I'm pretty close to going, I feel like going back to that place.
I think I am a cutscene away. I'm pretty sure I'm a cutscene away.
I just got what I assume is the last party member. I don't think there's anywhere else to get the brass knuckle guy, the guy you like with the white hair.
Ah, yes, guns guy.
Yes, guns guy. Yeah. That's what I see. Not brass knuckles guy. There's another person after that.
I know it's another spoiler I have, but I'm keeping that one closer to my chest now.
Who the fuck? All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Is it the young master? Doubtful.
It is a character you've already met, though.
Oh.
Isn't that a fun little pickle I threw in your gears?
Yeah. There's no way it's his old friend from before fucking... I don't know. I'd have to play it again. Male or female character?
Male.
Should have guessed. They already have the two staple female characters. Yeah. You can't put too many female characters.
Said that one had to be optional.
Right. Which means that because she's on my team, my main team, she's not even in any of the cutscenes. She just disappears for every cutscene.
God.
She just beats your ass.
Ari fucked off again.
But she can't be in this cutscene. She can't even be standing in the background. Not saying anything. Nope, she's just gone. Tales of Rise splits right down the middle. 3 girls, 3 boys.
Hey.
And all 3 of them are in some kind of will they, won't they romantic opportunities. With the main 2 definitely being a will, they will be type deal.
A will, they will, they.
You can definitely, especially when I really started thinking about it too, it was weird. The game read my mind. I got to a point and I was like, I feel like this is going to be like leaning towards like a coupling type thing between the 2 of these. And now I've had like 6 different optional. They have like skits, a button you press in the corner of the game for Tales, and it brings up like a skit comic panel type cutscene. It just like shows like a panel. The characters there, the mouse move, but they don't move. They're still framed to do like a cutscene, and you get lore bits from it. You get character development and like character bonding moments. And now like 7 of those in a row have been about the 2 main people. Will they, won't they's? And I'm like, oh, so you're basically telling me that they will now. This is just blatant obvious points, but it's a good game. It lives up to what I wanted it to be when I first saw it coming out. So I'm excited to complete it. And then maybe I'll go back to Canon Bridge of Spirits at some point way down the road. But I feel like if any of the games in my library I would go back to after this, before Diablo, because I'm going to need it. It's 3 weeks till Diablo. Well, a little less, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I need to fill the time with something. Well, no, man, I lied. I have a week because 14's patch is next week. So I'm beating Tales of Arise this week, and then maybe Yakuza. Well,
you'll get a couple more cutscenes deep.
Yeah, a couple cutscenes deep in Yakuza, and then 14 will own my life until I beat all of that content. But it's a new raid tier cycle, so I'll be logging into 14 every day for like 6 weeks to cap each week to get gear. So I'll be playing 14 and Diablo.
I was wondering if you did a certain boss fight yet, but I can't even ask for like a dragon.
I literally got that dude and fought one alley fight with random thugs. That's it.
Have you fought a vehicle yet?
No.
It's a big construction vehicle. Have you fought a big construction vehicle yet?
Yeah, way, way, way early in the fucking game. Yeah, because
not recently.
Well, no, yeah, because before you get that many fucking party members, before I even got the optional girl, because you fight a dude in a fucking crane outside.
I thought that was more recent.
No, because you fight him outside the pleasure hall before the pleasure hall manager gets shot.
God, there's a boss fight where it's literally
I was literally fighting a wrecking ball. Yes.
I thought it was closer to this, but there's just a fight where you're just fighting two people, and it's one of the hardest fucking fights I've done in the whole game. Because one of the guys just whips out guns on you and like straight up like takes out a party member.
No, damn.
Yeah, I don't think you got into that fight yet. Now that I think about it, it's oof. It's rough.
I'm just glad that I got my all of my people back. So we're like, I hate when the party splits in RPGs and you gotta like.
Who split off?
What's his name? Nobara.
Namba? So you do have Namba back?
I have Namba.
There's that fight. It's when you're fighting Namba and that other guy.
Yes.
That fight kicked the living shit out of me.
I destroyed it.
I got blasted.
Well, you know what it also is? Because I have infinitely more money than you do, because I went fucking ham on that business management class, and you get our business management company.
Yeah.
You get so much money from that.
He would whip out his guns, always go for the girl, and just murk her.
You know what sucks though? I have one more tier to do with that, and I don't remember how to play it, and I'm at the very end. So much shit. But I'm at the point where all of my real estate options, I could probably just let it auto cycle through.
And you'll be just fine.
I'll be just fine, yeah. Because I have one more, I have the last board meeting to go to like, in that game.
And the board meetings were the easier part, to be fair.
I liked that mini game so much that I played it after I got the optional character out of it. There's zero...
Which, to be fair, is how you bond her, so it's good
True.
that you did.
True. I have no reason to play this mini game ever again. But I kept playing. One, because I was getting so much money out of it.
So you're just loving it, I guess.
Yeah. Because you get so much money to upgrade all of those legendary crafted weapons for your team.
Oh, that's the good stuff,
at the
too.
shop, so.
Yeah.
I was like, this
I need to get back on that. See, that's why I was warned, too. My partner warned me, he's like, you want to do that business management game before you go to that other map. I was like,
did he beat it?
Yeah, he beat it.
I feel like he just plays games.
Destroys them.
And they're finished. And
yeah, he plays one game at a time. Right now it's like the new Like a Dragon game, Ishin.
Oh, I wasn't seeing things. There's a new Yakuza.
Yes, that one's real-time action, but it takes place in, like, Edo period.
Yeah.
He's loving it, needless to say.
You know what he needs to play? Well, I don't think he would, because he played Persona 5, but didn't play Royal.
Yeah, I don't think he'll go back for Royal.
You need to just finish Royal.
I do.
I just want someone in my life to play that fucking game.
It should be the guy that got you onto it.
Should be, yeah. That's the fastest I've ever decided to get a game. You were... Because I remember...
That's one where I knew. I didn't know if you'd like Diablo or not. I knew you'd like Persona 5.
So, because you tried once before, and I was just, whatever. I did one of those. And then the day you tried to get me to do it again, you were talking about it for like 20 minutes, and you were sending me clips. I wasn't even watching them.
This is straight up playable anime, dude. I
was playing my game, you were sending stuff, I was kind of giving half, I was like, yeah, we're talking. And then you had to go do something or whatever. So I was like, all right, whatever, he sent me a video. Let me actually watch the video. I watched literally the first 3 seconds of whatever video you sent me. I was like, I'm buying this game now. It was what it was too is that the video, I remember it opened with Joker running the opening sequence when you're running away. Basically how the game starts.
Yeah, not the anime opening, the opening
of the gameplay when you
the opening Joker gameplay.
And
where it flashes forward, I want to say, to like, because you're already Phantom Thieves. So
yeah, you're escaping the casino as Joker, and it's just showing Joker running through the casino and jumping on the platforms to get up there and like run away. And as soon as I saw him running and like the style of everything, I was like, I don't even need to finish this fucking video. I'm just gonna go get this game, and then I got it and played it, and it's now my second favorite game of all time.
I'm pretty sure I also turned you on to 12.
So, because I was totally not down for turn-based games. Sorry. I was not down for turn-based games.
Yeah,
So Final Fantasy
inadvertently.
wasn't there, and you had left your copy of 12 at my house. And one Saturday I woke up and I was bored, and I just happened to look down, and 12 was on top of the stack of your PS2 games at the time. We were in high school, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll try it. And it was the perfect in-between of turn-based, but not actually turn-based, to get me to turn on to turn-based. And then I crushed that fucking game. That game was my favorite.
That's why I
game
thought of 12
all time
again,
for
too.
a while. But Persona 5 is definitely my favorite single-player game. Favorite online/multiplayer game would definitely be 14/game of all time 14. I can't not say that the game I've been playing this I've been home, like in my house, not counting vacations, there's never been more than a week that I've gone without turning 14 on in 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
I play that game. I raid on it Monday through Friday, but I play that game at least twice a week, every week, for fucking 10 years, and most times more than that. I got fucking 10,000 hours in the game.
I think I could go with Hollow Knight.
Of all time, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was going to say Borderlands 2, but no, that's been outpaced by both Undertale and Hollow Knight by now. I just love that game. I need to kill that fucking final boss, though. That shit's been so hard. Because there's still, like, 2 DLCs of content behind it. One of which is a boss rush with harder versions of some of those bosses, including the true final boss I'm fighting right now.
You know what's going to make me sad? That, well, one is that we're still going to wait forever. It's probably still like 3 to 4 years out is whenever the next Persona game will be.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd be more... I want more of Persona 5. I love that cast. I was sad too.
It'd be hard for you to move on to any other Persona.
I almost play it because 3 is on the PS5, but boy, let me tell you.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I was looking at those screenshots. The in-game face models on those NPCs is bad.
Even 4 is like a really big technological step down, really.
Well, which one's the one that's praised to be really good? Not 5.
3.
3 is the one that everyone says
3
is
is like the fan favorite. A lot of people do like 4 also, but 3 is like the one they hold up.
Which one's the one where they shoot themselves in the
3.
face? 3.
Persona.
See, we used to make fun of that way back in the day before I never even played a Persona game until 5. Or a Shinigami Tensei game. I've never played one of those either.
My partner really likes one of the Shinigami Tensei games.
But I don't know.
It's like Persona, but just the dungeon side and harder.
Shinigami Tensei?
Yeah.
Oh. Cool. I was really good. This weekend would have been a rough weekend if I didn't have Diablo, because I was like, dude, I needed a game.
You were beasting on Diablo.
That's all I played all weekend. If I was sitting down at my thing, I was just playing Diablo. Played it all Friday night, like I said, but I did yard work and stuff Saturday, and then I went to play poker on Saturday night. In-laws on Sunday. Otherwise, I was on Diablo. It was good too that I saw that because you weren't on Friday night when I played, because I assume you were probably sleeping before work.
Yeah.
And then Saturday morning, I happened to see you on. And then we just played together all Saturday, or most of the day in the morning.
Yeah. I must have played something on Friday, though, because I was already leveled when we paired up, unless I just beasted out that hard.
Maybe, You probably played during the day on Friday.
Plus, I was just, again, you were actually listening to some of the stuff at first, too. I had already listened to all the stuff in the beta, so I was like, skip, charge. This side quest was fast. Charge.
I really so that's actually a sign, because you said that there was a reward for beating the thing. There was an item that I don't know what happened to it. It was in my inventory. Maybe I turned it in, but there was an item I couldn't sell or discard that was in my inventory.
Was it called a cache?
It was like a
herb
box.
cache.
Yeah, something
you
like that.
click that and it drops a bunch of stuff at your feet.
Oh, okay.
Like
that makes sense.
herbs or ore, usually.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from one of the side quests. They give you that.
Because I did like 2 or 3 side quests.
And I turned one in when we were together, so that might be how that ended up in your inventory without you knowing.
There was a wild side quest I did. Just talk to some lady, and like, so here's the main town you first unlock, the town that's like right here to the southeast, the other waypoint one.
Yeah.
So I went down there as a side quest, and she's like, "Oh, can you help me find my husband?" Oh, yeah, I guess. He's fucking like skin flayed into some chains, and he's like, "I need more."
I'm so happy you played that one, because I'm not sure if you noticed, but on my barbarian, every time we moved to a certain area, an NPC would join me. It was her, because I didn't finish that quest. So every time I pass by that area, it's like, Christina has joined you.
I didn't notice
start
that.
running behind me. It happened every time we went to a Shava, because there's an area in between to be like, she's joined you, and then she just fucks off along the way to a Shava.
Oh, okay, we're not looking for my husband yet? Alright, I'll see.
Every time, too. Because when I logged in that last day to try that Ashava one last time, she followed me through that area again. Like, get out of here.
Because you just walk up, so basically the dude had took the BDSM kink to the next level with a demon worshiper.
But when the person that did it fucks off, and she's like, follow that person. And she was still on the ground for me, so I was like, follow them where? They left. I don't have my point. So I just walked away.
Oh, it's literally right around the corner. You go over there, she turns into a demon, and you kill her. And
that's why I just left.
Then you come back, and she's just the wife is there, and she's like, she's not so hysterical or crazy. She's just kind of blank face, and she's like, "Oh, if you want a reward, you can take that knife that's in his chest." So while you walked away, she killed her.
Oh, that's great.
But he's not dead yet. You pull the knife out, and he's just like, "Oh!"
Ew.
And then blood pools out everywhere, and then he just kind of just flops over and dies.
All the quests are better than any other Diablo I've seen. Everything to do with writing is better this time. I mean, most things are better this time around, but that's one that's like really shining.
There was some writing problems I had at the very beginning. Like, you just kind of get thrown into the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, this is no setup at all. It's like, oh, yep, you're a chosen one. Yep, oh, I'm with you now. Yep, I'm totally trustworthy. You just bit some bitch's hand in another cabin. Just because you came in here to help me kill them, that doesn't mean I should instantly trust you. What is this? Oh, you just believe that I had a vivid vision in there about some demon that came into a church and murdered everyone, and you're just going to believe me right off the rip?
With all these other crazies?
With all these other crazies, and you're obviously like a holy man type thing. But then also, I don't know the extended lore of Diablo, so he could be like, it's the 4th iteration of this, so he's probably just like, yeah, we're used to this at this point.
Speaking of that, I'm really happy they didn't bring back the same old hermit they use every Diablo game. I was very happy to not see him.
Watch him pop up in like X.
I know. I was waiting around every corner for them to be like, go find Deckard Cain. I'm like, I don't want to hear that voice again. I love the man. He's fine. I just don't want to hear it anymore.
First question, Act 2. We need to go find an old ally.
He knows so much about this world with his wisdom. The moment they say wise, I'm going to be like, no, not Deckard.
That's how they describe him.
Yeah, Diablo 2, you have to go back to Tristram, the first place that Diablo attacked on Sanctuary. You have to free him from a cage. It's like, oh, yes, thank you. And then Diablo 3 opens up. He's the first person you go to in town. Fucking Diablo Immortal, you go to Deckard Cain. I just don't. I'm done. Shelf Deckard.
Brutal. He's going to pop up and you know it.
I do. I really hope not. That's part of the thing that's like, they're not like banking on nostalgia that much, it seems. They're just kind of, let's tell a story now.
Right. I'm here for it. Clear out some games for the new ones.
Yeah, that game's going to be fucking big. I remember when I first downloaded the beta. I don't think...
The beta itself was 32 gigs.
Thank God, because when I first downloaded the first beta, I remember sending you guys a picture. It was like 100 fucking gigs. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing to me, Blizzard?
Jesus.
Am I about to be a Bitcoin farm?
Well, hopefully it's not too much bigger than that. I mean, I got space, but I'll have more... Well, I lied, actually, because Tales of Arise is like 20 gigs, I think, total.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it's not big at all. So, I don't know, because I have...
We also just finished Valkyrie, I'm assuming, so you deleted that.
I did delete that. Well, because 14 and Smite are both large games. And then I have... that's another game I still need to beat. I need to go through my rest of my playthrough of Virgil on Devil May Cry 5.
Which shouldn't take long, too.
No.
Comparatively speaking, these...
Because there's no story. It's literally, with the Virgil run-through, it just drops you in. There's no cutscenes at all.
It's like, have fun, kid.
Here's the mission, clear it as Virgil. Cool. Here's the next mission, clear it as Virgil. And I'm close to the end, too. I probably have like 3 or 4 more missions to go through, which is not that much. And maybe 5, because 2 of them are fighting Virgil and fighting demon half Virgil thing. You know what I mean? So, and I have all his moves now anyway. So,
fuck yeah.
But yeah, wrap up my games like we wrap up this podcast.
Until I throw another pickle in your gears.
What's that?
We haven't talked about Dandadan.
We haven't.
No. And we can keep it a little brief because we're close to the end here. But I just want to say, fucking love Vamola.
Yeah. She's gonna join the cast of people now.
Yeah.
Like I told you last week, there's a 0% chance she's dead now. After
she's definitely buried up your dead, bro.
4 straight chapters of character building. If you were gonna make a sad backstory just for a dead character, it'd be 1 chapter. Get the heartbeat strokes right in and out.
4 chapters with some of the most brutal murders in them.
Yeah, this isn't a backstory at this point. This is character development.
Yeah.
You don't character
we
develop.
got the whole fucking thing through her eyes again, too.
Yeah, you don't develop well, actually, I lied. I totally just thought of something. You don't develop a character after you kill him. One Piece.
Yeah.
Totally did that with Ace. After he became a donut. The whole arc after Marineford is all about Ace and Luffy as kids, that you actually get anything about Ace's life in that after he's dead.
Sad.
So same thing with Vamola, yeah. But hopefully she's not dead.
She better not be dead. I swear to God.
And all the boys saw the backstory.
Momo, her bestie.
Her bestie.
Got a full page of Momo's reaction.
Yeah. And our boy Ken is on his way, and he's already suited up and ready to go.
And now he's in the mindset to get revenge for her.
And they were already worried about him. He was the one that got jumped by the most people, and they were still wary about him. So
yeah, they still respected him after.
So now he's coming back rested, and Zenkai boost type thing. Every character that gets beat and then comes back is always just default stronger.
And he's going to be angry.
He's going to be angry. And while he was gone, he learned spiral power.
Yes.
So, Giga Drills.
So, I just wanted to feel this fire this entire time.
But yeah, Dandadan is shaping up to getting ready for a final fight. JJK is shaping up for our next fight. Chainsaw Man just ended a fight.
Oh yeah, the fucking chainsaw motorcycle. I always forget we don't talk about Chainsaw Man because it's been like a full week since the chapter.
That's right, because it's tomorrow.
Super duper chainsaw motorcycle.
Yeah, fucking chapter. 17 pages this week. Oh, we want extra pages. And then 5 of them had no text on it. It was just pictures, so you just glaze over them quickly.
The reverse Hunter x Hunter.
Just like, oh boy.
It was still good. It was a banger.
It was good.
It was good.
I wouldn't say it was a banger.
It was a banger.
There's like nothing.
I loved the transitions each time where it showed them touching down, showed them jumping off, and then showed the destruction of what they just touched behind them.
I loved how he refused to take the motorcycle from the woman, but then she's like, "This, what about this dude? Guy?" And he just drop kicks him right off the bike. I think she's gonna find out that's Denji pretty soon. By the end of this like event type thing, I think that's when she's gonna find out, and it's gonna be like a plot point of somehow of like how she feels.
Mental battling Yoru.
Again, though, I don't think Yoru can turn him into a weapon because she tried already.
I also like that she hurt herself to shut Yoru up at one point in that too, if I remember right.
She did, yeah.
I liked that little shot.
But yeah, I think that's as good a place as any to end it. If anything, that just means we get double up to talk about for Chainsaw Man next week.
And Dandadan.
And Dandadan. Which both will, I mean, who knows where Chainsaw Man's going, but this was definitely a setup to some greatness for Dandadan.
Oh yeah, Dandadan's gonna start popping off.
Mm-hmm. JJK, see, maybe action starts next chapter. Maybe not.
Maybe some more chest puffing and some smack talk before the fight begins.
Dude, it's like all of our mangas are like right about to kick off some kick-ass fights.
Yeah.
Except One Piece. One Piece, I haven't seen. This is some weird shit that's happening in One Piece. You only ever see what happens in the world in One Piece between arcs. Never in the middle of an arc. Do you leave what Luffy is doing for 4 straight chapters? We have not seen Luffy on the page or any of the Straw Hats. We've been focusing on world events, and I'm fucking loving it.
It's
different world events, too.
This is what we were waiting for. This is what we're all about.
Yeah, so we're getting answers from a mini arc that happened before Wano started. And Wano is the longest arc in One Piece. So a lot of shit happened. They're like, oh my god, weird things happened, but you don't know the answers to them. This person died, but who killed them? Was it really the person that we say killed them? So many mysteries of what actually happened. Now wait 200 chapters to find the answers. And now we're finding out the answers, so I'm like down for it. But yeah, it's been the Dukes of Weebdom.
A very infernal episode.
Diabolical, might I say.
Ooh.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great day.
Take care now.